So you see this giant granite rock down there, 200 feet away. The camera is right at the base of that. And here comes the cord, and here you can see the rock. Okay, I've been looking forward to this day and dreading this day too, all winter long. It's been a long winter. Dreading it because I don't know whether they're gonna be back here. I don't really have any backup plan if they're around. This whole thing is based on the hope that they don't return this early because there's not good vegetation and not as much good hunting as there will be like a month from now. I kind of feel like I'm in Minecraft. See, this makes a trough that's wide enough for that tube. I got the interior diameter so that it would just fit the coupling, but not with the thickness of the wire, so the wire has to drag these behind. There. Buried this much so far. Goodbye. About 3/4. And I've tried to disguise the indications of digging. I don't even remember where it went, but finally comes out. The back of it, because my guess is that he and sometimes they hang out down there, because that's invisible from where I used to sit on the other side of all these trees. There I could see, I could stand a chance of seeing something, but he's back there behind the thicker growth, absolutely obscured. And the knocking sounded much too close to be over the ridge there. So I'm just guessing that this is as good a place to aim the camera as any. And I'm going to paint the rim of this with brown paint to match the surroundings. And I'm still looking for something to put on top, like an awning, to prevent the glass from reflecting in the moonlight or the sunlight. I was thinking of this, but it seemed like it might attract too much attention. You know, so it's a tough call. And that paint is a good color. I think. Now it doesn't stand out quite so much. And for the rain cover and reflection cover, I've put this log. Maybe I should put another one on the other side. Okay, like that. But now the problem is that you're calling so much attention to that exact spot. So what I need to do is pile up stuff over there, too. Okay. And put some stuff over here, too. And then a little extra roofing right there. So it's pretty dark in there. I mean, if they see it, they see it. This is just about as well as I can hide it and still have an unobstructed view. It's there to keep the cord dry and hidden. I always cross the field here and come in and sit right here. That's what I did last year. And here's this tripod that is at the mouth of the buried portion of the cable, and that cable goes around here. You can even see where the trees are much thicker here than they are over here, for instance. So somewhere back here on the other side of this impenetrable wall of trees is where the drumming was coming from, as best I can tell, and I was unable to see through this. So we're running the cable around back, doing an end run around to try to get a glimpse of what's going on back here. So now from this tripod here, I'm running an extra 100 feet of cable above ground, just to add some distance. Alright, I'm just putting this recorder here on top of this. Then I'm backing off. The idea here is to set up a distraction, like a decoy focus of concern, to make them or him or her feel that this is the closest encroachment I'm making here with the tripod and the recorder. Because last year I always used to announce that I was coming down, leaving the recorder closer, and then going back to my spot. Okay, it's all connected here, and we're really far away from the camera now. And when I turn on the battery, we should get a signal. There we are, looking out from the fallen tree. We just wait for the springtime explosion and for them to return. This is beef liver. Seems like it should be pretty smelly and attractive. Nothing took or ate the liver, but listening through the audio file revealed not a very dramatic night, but there were 4 interesting incidents. The second, third, and fourth incident are kind of ambiguous, but suggestive. The first one, however, could hardly have been anything other than what we're seeking. So it tells me, and it's exciting, that they're back in the area, because there's never just one. So they're back around, but that they're still not doing the morning routine. Okay, I've been sitting here for about 15 or 20 minutes. And when I first got here, I thought I heard a light knock from up on the ridge. But nothing since then until just now. A big tree push from back there. Wow, I'm very glad I thought to turn on my recorder. Oh boy. Oh boy. Music Man, was that you? Hello? That doesn't seem like Music Man's personality. That seemed more like a typical intimidation move. Not the close interaction and apparent friendliness that I heard last year. Well, we'll see what happens. Just see what happens. I'm at their mercy. I remember last year I used to hear from up on the ridge single knocks every now and then, very loud. And it felt like aggressive, in an aggressive tone. So that might be the same character who, I mean, if they have their routine spots that they like to go to, then that could be him again. And we could still be missing the one, especially Music Man, who used to be so quote-unquote friendly down there. And others who used to do some drumming in from various locations on the compass down there. And of course the pitcher, who I'm interpreting as being friendly with his pine cone tosses, even though lots of viewers have said that he was not friendly, telling me to get out of here. I just don't see it that way. But that guy, I don't think is on board with me. That's my hunch anyway. I just got a very loud greeting. Haven't even entered the woods yet. And from up there where Pitcher used to be, a very loud, obvious tree push. I was greeted or retaliated against by another tree push. Also, back there, not quite in the same place as the other day, a week ago, but very clear and distinct. Just the meaning wasn't quite clear and distinct. He does not come across like Music Man or Pitcher. He has his own personality, probably his own role. I noticed that he's always up high. He always has that strategic advantage over where I sit. I know I said that they're never alone, but I'm starting to think that maybe he is a solitary sort of guard or sentry figure who's keeping an eye on things until the group, the family or the larger group, returns. Alright, I've been here about 20 minutes and haven't heard anything. But I'm going to just go up here anyway and see what I can see. This is about where the most recent tree push came from a few days ago. It seems there's An inordinate amount of broken branches on the ground. It's hard to see on video, but compared to other places around here, there suddenly begins to be hundreds of them. Right here too. So my guess would be that he spends time up here whiling away the hours in guard duty, using his nervous energy to snap and fiddle with, maybe even munch on sticks. This could be the tree he pushed over the other morning. Still pretty fresh. Now, let's see here. When I finally caught sight of that pine cone shooting up into the air last September from the ground level, and finally knew with certainty that they were being thrown from down here. The other day, it came streaking in over my shoulder. I saw the first one out of the corner of my eye. I thought, that was a bird. And then right away, I saw it plain as day, just zooming up and down. And I saw the whole arc of it. And it showed me essentially right where he or she was. Right over there. Over there somewhere, behind the trees that are in the sunlight. Somewhere behind all these trees here. And you can see that above them, the top of the tall pine tree, maybe 50 or 70 yards away from here, is clearly visible. It's easy to lob one up there, unseen, and for it to then arc back down to the tree where I was sitting. And people in their comments on YouTube are often saying, oh, there's no way they could throw it that far, or they wouldn't be able to see the trees from where they were standing. Oh, it's false. When you add together May, June, July, and half of August, I showed up at my spot a total of 32 times, and nothing whatsoever happened. Time after time after time. It's a lonely feeling. When you contrast it to the life that always met me here, it's just like a ringing silence. It was so dependable last year, I started taking it for granted. And then came August 17th. I guess that's a coyote or a wolf up there. Woo! Sheesh. At this point, the coyote appeared right in front of me. There he is. Sounded like a little knock. Hear that? Sounded like a branch break. I waited a long time, but I didn't hear anything else from up there. A sharp-eyed friend later noticed something that I hadn't seen in reviewing the video footage, much less in person. A dark head right down here. Okay, so he was right there. Oops. Right behind that little pine tree. Like 100 feet away. Crazy, huh? It's right when I'm hearing the popping of branches that he pops his head up, which really does make me think that he wasn't the one making the sounds, because that would have attracted attention directly to him. Has to have been another one trying to distract my attention. Perhaps the one that was showing himself was a juvenile, and some older one was trying to prevent me from noticing him. So here's that tree, and as you can see, it's really unimpressive, very sparse. And when I stand up, it comes up to my middle of my chest. So either he or she was kneeling down, or this individual was very small. Peeking at me. So given how sparse this tree is, seems like we ought to be able to see something through it. From the same distance and in roughly the same lighting conditions early in the morning, we can clearly make out my white shirt behind the tree. And indeed, it looks like we can see the body of this visitor as well. That's a long left arm. He or she might be kneeling. It's very hard to tell how the legs are positioned. But the color is bright black. It should have jumped right out at me, except that part of my attention was taken up by the wood breaking and knocking sounds. And then you throw the coyote into the mix, also serving to distract me. And coyotes, as you probably know, have a long history of being trickster figures. And I sure do feel that I fell for a trick that morning. Did I feel like yanking my own head off with frustration? I mean, just imagine the footage we could have had. And he didn't seem particularly averse to being filmed. I mean, there he was right in front of me, and I had my camera with me, and he wasn't on the ground. He was rising up over the top of the intervening tree. Would have just had to point my eyes in a slightly different area, zoom in on his face, and then follow what he did next. It's even more frustrating than the time that I got the thermal footage in Texas, because that time it was at night, and the visitor was hunkering way down behind an obstruction. This time he was concealing himself a great deal more casually, and he was in broad daylight. But hey, maybe the third time will be the charm. Seems that if it was squirrels producing those hundreds of pine cone falls last year at this time, they would repeat the performance this year. It would be their pre-winter routine. I have seen no squirrels this time around and experienced no pine cone drops or throws whatsoever. Where are they now? Where are the pine cones? No, it was because the pine cones were coming in so reliably that the squirrels came in. Hey, free supply. Excellent. You just threw 5 in a 6 in a row. It landed almost precisely in the same place, about 15 feet in front of me. That was very impressive. Whoa! There you are, right in front of me. 7 in a row. How are you doing it from where you are? Gosh, how far away must you be? Hey! Holy smokes. Good job, man. And they're crashing through those leaves up there. Dude, you are excellent. Oh! Ah! Holy sh... Well, you did it. I asked you to. This one just hit me on the head. Yikes. Alright, 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 alright. You proved your point. What an excellent throw you are. Oh my god. Hit me right there. Boom. I'm like 14 within 2 or 3 minutes. Right in front of me. And he's nowhere to be seen. 15. And a circle of life. Okay. I've left this little gift here by the hiding tree. I've been really grateful that the cable has remained intact and viable all these months through torrential rains and luckily not being dug up by animals or bit into by underground critters. But the problem is that I planned to wait till I heard Music Man down where he was last year and then start recording. But that hasn't happened. All summer and fall I've heard his drumming signature just 3 times and very briefly and peripherally. So I'm just going to go ahead and try it anyway. I left another one way down below. I'll be back soon. People told me in the beginning, oh, you know, they're going to definitely know you put the camera in. And I would say, that's possible, but then again, they're not omniscient. They're not infallible. Patty wasn't aware, apparently, that humans and a camera were right around the corner. It's also possible that last year the 2 main actors, Music Man and Pitcher, were more immature and uninhibited. And it may be that these creatures mature a lot more quickly than human children. But then, who is this? Is this Music Man? Why present himself to me like this, hiding in plain sight? Or is this the sentry or guard that seemed to be on hand back in June? But he just seems little. I think he's a kid. For what it's worth, he is standing on the opposite bank of the ravine from where the camera is pointed. The only reason that I broke the boundary and went down and put the balloon in Music Man's territory is that, frankly, I'm getting a little desperate now at this point in the year. I watched all 3 hours of hidden camera footage, and it revealed nothing besides the beautiful rotation of the Earth. This experiment really just is not working. So much as it pains me, considering all the work and investment of time and resources, I have to make the tough decision. I'm just going to come and take away my machine. Give you back your place. You win. I was wrong. It's going to be October next week, and temperatures are already falling pretty precipitously. It'll be snowing soon. And so if I hope to leave any time in the season to determine what difference it might make without the hidden camera, to see if that has been at the root of the radical diminishment of activity. It's now or never. After I leave the recorder, you can hear at first the sound of the cable dragging along the ground through sticks and debris. And then over the next 2 minutes, I get farther and farther away. I've played this out every which way, trying to discount or have a reason to doubt what seems to have happened on the tape. But 2 minutes and 20 seconds went by between when I was making all that noise, dragging the cable near the recorder, and when what happened happened. And right before it happened, you can hear my voice, and I'm probably 150 feet away from the recorder. And so you can hear that my voice is barely audible. And it's just a few seconds after I say, I think I said goodbye to him again. Goodbye, and I'm giving you back your place. Then I went out past the edge of the woods, dragging the cable back across the field. I didn't make any knocks. I was too busy dragging that thing. And you can hear my voice, and then from quite near the recorder. First this one. And then I find this just astonishing. I listened to the whole rest of the 4.5 hours of audio file that morning, and there were no other knocks. There was just nothing. Nothing but this initial response to my removing the cable and saying goodbye and giving you back your place. I just got back from the ravine, and I'm busting, Jerry! The last part happened on Friday, and now it's Monday morning. And I've been racking my brains over the weekend to try to figure out what happened on Friday and if I could have gotten it wrong, and not believing that the response could have been as immediate and clear-cut as it seemed to be. It just seemed way too good to be true. I just went in there, and sure enough, I got all the affirmation that I could ever have hoped for. And I've instantly grown in understanding. And I'm so grateful for that. Okay, these came over 27 minutes of recording. This is really just amazing because I kept resisting. My ego kept making me resist the notion that they would know, or that, you know, what everybody says about like energy and intentions being so important, and that you project your intentions and a certain type of energy, and they have this ability to react to it. Well, as soon as I withdraw the camera and withdraw my ego, here they are, or here he is, back to being present for me, with me, for himself, just near where he was last year. He's definitely sticking down there, as opposed to over there. So maybe the area around where the camera was still has some kind of toxic atmosphere or after effect. I don't know. I'm willing to believe anything at this point. Oh my freaking God. You have no idea how many times. Hope the recorder is picking this up. How many times I've come and sat here over the last 4.5 months now and been treated to just deafening silence and feeling rejected and sorry for myself and like that. All along, I could have just had it all back by doing what I did 2 days ago. It's like Dorothy and the slippers. She could have always gone back home. Now if I just get a pine cone thrown at me, it'll complete the cycle. It'll complete the circle of restoration. This is amazing. Remember last year when I put the camera out a couple times, and then right after, the next day, they would be back to their normal self, so I felt like I understood that they didn't hold a grudge. And this seems to confirm the same thing. I know the recorder is picking that knocking up. There's just so much music to my ears after so much of nothing. It's really crazy being able to know exactly where a Sasquatch is, but not be able to see him. Whereas back on August 17th, one was visible right in front of me, but I had no idea where to look. Okay, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much, Music Man. I really appreciate it.